OpenSea is an online marketplace that allows you to purchase, sell, and trade non-fungible tokens. You can transact a variety of different digital collectibles, including art, music, domain name, trading card, and dozens more. But if you ever done any Ethereum-based crypto transaction, you know how does the gas fees increase the trading cost. OpenSea was initially powered by Ethereum smart contract, but has now also added support for the Solana chain. Additionally, it now uses the Ethereum's Layer 2 protocol to decrease the trading cost while increasing the execution speed. NFT can be purchased using Ethereum's own token, which is known as Ether. On top of that, more than 150 other currencies such as DAI or UNI are also accepted on this platform. In order to make a purchase, you simply need to connect the crypto wallet, such as Metamask, and then the digital collectibles can either be bought directly by accepting the fixed price the seller set or by bidding on it. That means leaving the seller to either accept or decline the offer. Similarly, if you intend to sell something on the platform, you simply connect your wallet, upload the NFT you intend to offer, and set a price for it. And then you are ready to sell your NFT. OpenSea furthermore lists all the past transactions such as sales, transfer, bids, and even more. And that allows interested buyers to track the value and interest in the asset over time. More than 34 million NFTs have been uploaded on OpenSea, and these are traded by the 300,000 plus users that are part of the platform. So before we move, let me inform you that if you want to understand the business model of Metamask, you can click on the I button or visit the link in the description. So far we got to know some basic things about the OpenSea. Now let's know how a Wi-Fi sharing company turned into a $1 billion NFT marketplace. OpenSea, headquartered in New York City, was founded in December 2017 by Devin Fincher and Alex Atala. Both founders, prior to starting the company, amassed quite an impressive resume. Sito Atala graduated from Stanford University with a degree in computer science in 2014. A year prior, he sold Hostess.fm to SFX Entertainment. Hostess.fm was a global platform for nightlife venues. He then went on to work at Palantir and Jugata as a software engineer until branching out as a founder again. In 2016, he launched What's Goodly, a social polling platform that he grew to over 300,000 plus users. Meanwhile, Finch's resume is nothing to scoff at either. In 2013, after graduating from Brown University with mathematics and 4.0 GPA, he went on to work as a software engineer at Pinterest. He then in 2016 went on to launch ClaimDog, a tool that allowed you to find if a business owes you money by searching states' unclaimed property databases. He successfully sold the company to Credit Karma, where he stayed on as an engineering manager until starting OpenSea. Around the time of his exit, Fincher also became increasingly interested in the domain of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. He not only studied the underlying technologies, but eventually realized that he wanted to commit his professional career to it. It therefore became a question of figuring out what exactly to do. Back then, the CryptoKitty project became a huge tech culture phenomenon, where people were buying CryptoKitties for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It essentially became the poster child for NFTs. Together with Atala, he drew up some rough ideas and applied to enter a prestigious startup accelerator, which provided them with $120,000 in seed funding. Initially, their project Wi-Fi Coin was centered around the concept of sharing Wi-Fi bandwidth using blockchain technology. However, they quickly pivoted to OpenSea, which they released in February 2018. By the time they got on stage to present the platform, OpenSea had already managed to sell $500,000 worth of digital collectibles. The participation in the accelerator program provided them with enough exposure to be able to raise their first institutional round. In May, high-profile crypto investors like One Confirmation, Founders Fund, Blockchain Capital, and more poured $2 million into the business. In those early days, OpenSea primarily relied on game developers to drive the business. Those developers, such as CryptoKitties, were looking for additional revenue sources with which they could monetize their characters. Naturally, OpenSea offered such an avenue. Over the coming months, OpenSea continued to add more categories and more features to its platform. For instance, in October, it launched bundles, which allowed sellers to offer their NFT collectives in bundles. And this was elevating some of the gas fees, which are payments made by users to compensate for the computing energy required to process and validate transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. This was particularly troubling for offerings that only sold for very little, and where the actual gas fees was higher than the sale price itself. Bundling therefore allowed sellers to simply command higher prices. Then in December, OpenSea made its first acquisition by purchasing competing NFT marketplace Atomic Bazaar for an undisclosed amount. The acquisition also extended the number of features that OpenSea was able to offer, such as item-to-item bartering. Throughout 2019, OpenSea continued to add more features to its platform, while partnering with various artists and developers. In June, for instance, it launched a Deadpool-themed NFT in cooperation with Fox Entertainment. The continuous growth allowed the team to raise another round of funding in November. This time, investors contributed a total of $2.1 million to the firm's balance sheet. By the end of the year, OpenSea was considered to be the undisputed leader among the NFT marketplace. At the same time, company has already become profitable. 2020, fueled by stay-at-home orders as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, was certainly no exception in terms of continuous growth. However, 2021 would become the year that finally propelled the company to completely new heights. First, it started the year by raising $23 million from Anderson Horowitz and angels like Mark Cuban and Alex Ohanian. Over the past 6 months, transaction volume on the platform had grown 100-fold, with the daily volume exceeded $10 million. A month prior, an NFT called Beeple had been sold on NFT Gateway for a record-breaking $6.6 million, officially reigniting the interest in the domain, and OpenSea was there to fully take advantage of it. In July, OpenSea team managed to raise another round of funding. This time, investors valued the company at a whopping $1.5 billion, while contributing $100 million. In less than 4 years, OpenSea had managed to become a unicorn. The funding came on the heels of the platform's strongest month. In June, it saw a transaction volume rise to $160 million. At the same time, OpenSea announced that it would incorporate Polygon, a popular layer 2 Ethereum blockchain that offers a more energy-efficient infrastructure to lower the gas fees. Portions of the funding were also used to remove all associated gas fees for creators, buyers, and sellers on the marketplace. This in turn propelled the transaction volume to never-seen-before heights. August proved to be even more historic month for the company and the industry as a whole. A whopping $3.4 billion in transaction volume was recorded on its Ethereum blockchain during the month, which didn't even take transactions from the Polygon into account. Unfortunately, not everything was going according to plan. That same month, OpenSea had to delist Polygon-based copy of CryptoPunks. After Larva Labs, the creator of the CryptoPunks, issued a DMCA takedown request. However, Polygon Punks were brought back in late September after a successful appeal. Meanwhile, OpenSea had to fight an even bigger battle. On September 15th, news emerged that one of the firm's employees, whose name was Ned Chastain, was trading on confidential information. Chastain had gotten wind of what NFT projects would be promoted on OpenSea's homepage, which often would lead to a temporary boost in the prices. He then sold off the NFT soon after the promotion. Chastain ultimately resigned 2 days later. To make matters worse, OpenSea allowed the sale and trade of anti-Semitic and Nazi-glorifying artwork, which only added to the controversy. Despite those issues, OpenSea remains the undisputed market leader in the NFT space, with a market share of more than 95%. In October, Coinbase, which was one of the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchanges, announced that it would launch its very own NFT marketplace. The interesting point here is that Coinbase was already an investor in OpenSea's 2018 seed round and shares a common majority investor in Andreessen Horowitz. Despite those hiccups, OpenSea continued to remain the undisputed market leader in the NFT space. Not only was the platform able to score partnership with like of Adobe or Vogue Singapore, but also managed to hire rockstar employees like Lyft CFO Brian Roberts. However, the hiring of Roberts came with his own set of problems. In an interview with Bloomberg, he said that it would be foolish not to think about going public. Many users were angered as a result of this statement, since they felt that the platform would be selling out. Instead, OpenSea raised another round of funding. In January 2022, investors poured $300 million into the company. It used portions of that funding to expand its product line. For instance, by partnering up with MoonPay, adding Solana-based NFTs, and acquiring NFT aggregator Gem. OpenSea makes money from service fees, and these fees are paid whenever a digital asset is successfully sold via the platform. And if you want to know the service fees, this is equal to 2.5%. Meaning if an NFT worth $100 is being sold, then the platform gets to keep $2.5. The fee structure is in line with other competitors of OpenSea, such as Magic Eden or LuxRare. OpenSea provided its marketplace infrastructure completely free of cost. As such, it doesn't cost anything to list an NFT. The dominance of the marketplace arose from the ease of usage, as well as the low fee associated with it. New projects can be uploaded within a few clicks. On top of that, OpenSea covers all associated gas fees, which in turn encourages both buyers and sellers to transact more often, and thus increases liquidity in the marketplace. Additionally, the platform offers a wide array of categories to purchase from, ranging from trading cards all the way to domain name. This is largely in line with what other marketplaces, including Mintable or Rarible, offers as well. Lastly, OpenSea has also been engaged with the influencers and the blockchain community at large right from the get-go. Richard Chen, a general partner at One Confirmation, said that the founders did a great job living in Discord to discover new NFT projects. The business model of NFT can be classified as an online marketplace. OpenSea acts as mostly secure and reliable intermediary between buyers and sellers. Buyers benefit from knowing that they receive authentic items. Meanwhile, suppliers can tap into a readily available pool of buyers, which drives up their selling price. As a result, the fee they pay are likely offset by the greater prices that they can command. OpenSea has added various measures to combat copying and thus protect the work of creators. In May 2022, for example, it added copy detection and verification features. OpenSea, according to Crunchbase, has raised a total of $427 million across 9 rounds of venture capital funding. Notable investors include Y Combinator, Andreessen Horowitz, Court, SV Angel, Founders Fund, and angels like Shopify founder Toby Luke, Mark Cuban, Tim Ferriss, and many others. OpenSea is currently valued at $13 billion after raising $300 million in Series C funding, led by Paradigm and Court in January 2022. The company does not disclose any revenue figures to the public. It may do so during future funding announcements. OpenSea, as previously indicated, remains in private ownership and is thus not obligated to disclose its ownership structure with the public. However, it can be assumed that the founders still retain a large stake. After all, they raised the majority of the money at the absolute height of the NFT marketplace. This is supported by the valuation figure provided for its Series B and Series C round. OpenSea raised $100 million at a $1.5 billion post-money valuation and $300 million at a post-money valuation of $13 billion. This means that the firm gave up a combined 9% in those two rounds. Nevertheless, investors in its previous rounds probably were able to acquire a bigger stake due to less hype around the NFTs and the crypto industry as a whole. Andreessen Horowitz, which led 2 funding rounds, is likely OpenSea's biggest institutional shareholder. So this was the business model of OpenSea. I hope you loved the video. If you have any questions regarding this video, you can ask in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe the channel for many upcoming business model videos about the popular crypto companies. See you in the next video.